Hey everybody, it's Brian here. Welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all great. You know, we're in the fourth quarter. It's the time of the year we got some amazing holidays that we can create designs for. It's just an amazing time of the year to be, a seller, a designer in the print-on-demand industry. And I thought today I would share with you one text-based design that you could consider creating for one of my favorite holidays of the year, and that's Thanksgiving. There's just something about eating turkey and mashed potatoes and all, gravy and all the other goodness that comes with a Thanksgiving dinner. And hey, why not create some amazing designs to inspire and motivate your clients to consider buying from your respective print-on-demand shops. So today's video, I'm going to be showing you how we can combine the power of ChatGPT with the power of Canva to create our own unique design off of another design that I found on the internet to use as motivation and inspiration. And it's really easy to do. It doesn't take that long. You can really scale these particular types of designs to really offer a lot of choice for your clients to consider buying and hopefully land a lot more sales this fourth quarter. So with that said, let's head over to my computer and get started with today's tutorial. Let's go. Okay, so welcome to my computer screen, and as you can see here, I've got a design, a text-based design that I researched off of the internet to use as my inspiration, my motivation for today's video. And as you can see here, it's thankful nurse, grateful nurse, blessed nurse. I think it's so effective and it's so pertinent and so relevant for Thanksgiving, for this particular time of the year, that these kind of designs do really, really well amongst the general public who are looking for something to wear, or maybe for coasters or table runners or any kind of indoor decoration, cushions for that matter too as well. They look for these particular types of sayings to create a nice homey environment for their loved ones when they come over to celebrate Thanksgiving. Now, we are not going to copy this design verbatim. What we're going to do is we're going to use it as inspiration, and we're going to tweak it a little bit to make it unique, because we don't want to copy somebody else's design, somebody else's creativity in the hopes of trying to make and landing more sales. What we want to do is we want to take inspiration and we want to put our own twist and our own take on it. So today what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be using ChatGPT, and I'm also going to be using Canva in combination so that we can actually scale a bunch of Thanksgiving related designs based on this particular design, but different and unique, so that we're providing our customer base with something new this Thanksgiving, so they're not seeing the same old thing over and over again year after year. So what I did was I went on to ChatGPT, and basically I stated the following. I'm working on a new Thanksgiving themed t-shirt design that I'm going to scale. The base design will read as follows: thankful teacher, grateful teacher, blessed teacher. Now, the first thing I would like for you is to provide me with synonyms for thankful, grateful, and blessed, so that I can create a new and unique design. So here we are, we're already telling you that we don't want to just, repeat the same old thing over again. We want to create something new. Please give me 10 synonyms to consider for each. Then I would like you to provide me with a text box containing 3 columns with the following headings: text 1, text 2, text 3. In each row, I would like for you to provide me with 30 different occupations and repeat each occupation beneath each heading per row. Now, this is going to be very pertinent and very, very useful for when we're working on this design in Canva, which I will be showing you a little later on. So stay with me here. Let's go through the synonyms that ChatGPT provided me with so that we can see which ones we're going to choose for this design. So in terms of thankful, we've got these 10 here: appreciative, content, grateful, pleased, etc. You can just read through them very quickly right now. Then for grateful, we've got thankful, appreciative, indebted, glad, etc. And for blessed, we've got fortunate, privileged, favored, lucky, and so on and so forth. So we've got some really great words that we can consider to use for this new text-based design. Now, I already went ahead and basically I decided that I was going to choose joyful, thankful, because thankful, if you don't have the word thankful in Thanksgiving, then what's the point, right? And privileged. So we're going to be using joyful, which is number 6 over here. I'm still going to be keeping the word thankful. I'm still going to use it, but rather than having it in the first position, I'm going to have it in the middle position. And then the last one is going to be privileged over here, okay? So those are going to be 3 headings of 3 words pertaining to Thanksgiving that I'm going to be using in this design. So the next thing I did was I went into Canva and I started a canvas size of 4500 pixels by 5400 pixels. For those of you who are new to the print-on-demand industry, this is sort of the standard dimensions for t-shirt designs that if you use this particular canvas size, you shouldn't have any difficulty uploading any of your designs that you create on any of the print-on-demand platforms that are out there. And then what I did was I went ahead and I created my base text. Okay, so I just basically clicked on add a heading over here, and in this particular case I wanted a grunge appearance too as well, and for this particular design I chose zoom rough bold. Okay, and then for sort of like the script I chose brush script. Again, if you don't know how to choose a particular text, all you need to do is just type in the keyword that you're searching for. As you can see here, I typed in script so that I could get all of the various script fonts, the script style fonts that Canva has on offer. I am using the full version here, so I have access to all of the various fonts. If you're using the free version, you want to make sure that you're choosing those scripts that doesn't have this crown icon next to it. There's still a lot of great fonts that you can use from the free version, so don't feel obliged to use a paid version if you don't want to. But you know, if you can, it's really not that expensive and it's really worth its weight in gold. Okay, so those are the two fonts that I chose, and as you can see here, I just basically copied and pasted the first and the second one. So now what I want to do is I want to start changing, you know, the text here to fit my design. So we're going to double click on the first one, and with the caps lock on, I'm just going to type in joyful. Now, why do you want to do this? Because you want to make sure that your base design is going to be perfectly aligned before you go into the next step in terms of scaling this particular design. Okay, so obviously I have lost a lot of text here. I don't want it to be justified on the left. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to stretch out the text box, and as you can see just above me here, we got a dotted vertical line. That's basically showing me that I am now lined up with the right margin of the other headings down below. Okay, so once I've done that, I'm going to click on the center alignment. So we're just going to click there, and now joyful has been centered onto the page. Now I can also increase the size of the font. I'm not just going to do that yet because I want to see, you know, the changes of the other two headings, what they are going to look like after I put in the new words, and then I can adjust the size of the fonts accordingly. So let's just double click over here, and we're going to type in thankful. Again, I'm going to grab this right handle over here. We're just going to stretch it until we see that dotted line. There it is. And then I'm going to click on the center alignment. And then I'm going to do the same thing with the last one. And this time it's going to be privileged. Make sure you spell it correctly. Guys, irrespective of whether English is your dominant language or not, before you go into scaling any kind of design, if it's a text-based design, make sure that you have your spelling corrected. Okay, make sure that all the words are spelled correctly. If you're uncertain about how to spell them, you know, simply open up a Google page, type it, and chances are Google will show you the corrected version. Ask a buddy, ask a friend, grab a dictionary if you're old school, find how to spell the word correctly, double check to make sure, because the last thing you want to do is upload a design, go back to look at it, you know, in the mock-ups, and then realize you've got a spelling mistake and you have to do everything all over again. Or worst case scenario, you've allowed the design to go through, customers are seeing it, it's got a spelling mistake, nobody buys it, and it actually really puts your shop in a bad light. Because customers, you know, are very finicky. Who wouldn't be? Who's going to spend a lot of money buying a t-shirt design, buying a cushion design, buying a throw design, where, you know, you have a spelling mistake on it? It's just not going to happen. So this is the time where you need to take those extra few minutes and double check to make sure that every word that is on your design is spelled correctly. So let's click on the center alignment here for that one, and we've got joyful, thankful, and privileged. I think we can afford, you know, to increase the size of the font a little bit. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to just physically drag and increase the size of the text ourselves. Okay, and now what I'll do is I'll just grab the handles and bring them to the side to the margins of the canvas here, and we'll just make sure that we are centered here. No, we're not. We just clicked like that. So make sure right justified, and now we're centered. Okay, so we've got a font size of 1021, it would look like. Okay, so let's do the same thing with thankful here, and I'm just going to grab it and drag it out. Again, this is something that you want to play around with. Everybody is going to, have their own take on how this design should look. You might like a smaller font. Maybe you would like more of a triangular design. It's totally up to you. I think I'm liking the way thankful looks. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab the handles here and bring them across. And now we're going to do the same thing with joyful. So we're just going to grab that out. We're going to increase the size of it. I really want this to be a bombastic, in-your-face type of design here. Now, obviously, if I increase the size of joyful, it's going to be a bit too much. So I'll just bring it down. I want to try and make sure that, the height of each word is pretty close in size. So let's just drag this down. As you can see here, if I put the J on top of the T, we've got a lot of room over here. So I'm just going to grab it down, and I'm going to grab the bottom left-hand corner handle. I'm just going to bring it down a little bit. I'm not too worried that joyful is a little bit smaller than the other ones. Oh, make sure you grab the right one to move around with. Again, you will have to play around a little bit, but this is the time where you want to spend those extra minutes really refining your design, making sure that everything is perfectly aligned, perfectly laid out, so that when you scale this design, as I'm going to be showing you momentarily, everything will be spot on and you'll be really happy with the results that you achieve. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we're going to grab these headings down here, and I'm just going to drag everything down a little bit. Let's grab the handles here, and we're going to increase it to the edge of the canvas size too as well, so that we make sure that we're perfectly centered there. Okay, now Canva is really good at helping you to make sure that everything is aligned accordingly. So again, we're just going to do the legwork right now. What you can do is you can click back into it, and if you can just see right now, Canva has just presented me with two sort of pinkish ovals with numbers on it. It's 865. That's showing me the distance, and that obviously gives me indication that that particular heading, add a heading, the second one, the middle one, is equally distant between thankful and privileged, so I know that I'm going to have a really nicely laid out design. So we're going to do the same thing. What we're going to do is we're going to just bring joyful up a little bit, and then we'll do the same thing. Let's click out there with heading. Okay, we've got those pink numbers appearing over there. So what we're going to do, I'm not happy with these G's over here, so let's just bring this up a little bit. Again, guys, it's all about playing around, with your design to make sure everything is properly lined up. We can bring this down a little bit, use the size of the canvas, use all of it, make it a design that people are going to be happy and want to wear. Okay, so now that we've got our main headings properly aligned here, so we've got joyful, thankful, and privileged. I can even go so far as bringing this down a little bit more. Let's just go the distance. Okay, and there we go. I'm actually quite happy with that. Now what we want to do is we want to start the scaling procedure. Now I also want to make sure that the occupations, where it says add a heading, is going to look centered and is going to look proper too before I scale it. So what we're going to do is we're going to just double click on that, and I'm going to type in teacher. And here I'm making sure that the occupation is in lowercase font. Okay, and as you can see here, we can afford to make it a little bit larger. So let's just click on the first one, and let's just click and bring it up to 600 and see what that kind of effect that has. Okay, I think I'm liking that size too as well. So as we did with the other headings, let's just stretch out the handles here, and I'm going to bring it up a little bit, and we'll do the same thing here. So we're going to take that up to 600. And then we'll do the same thing with this one. Okay, and as you can see here, we are pretty well aligned. I think what I'll do is just bring this one up a little bit. There we go. Canvas showed me the lines to show me that I'm nicely aligned. Okay, and yeah, I think I'm really happy with that. I'll just bring this one up a little bit. Again, if you can't do it with your mouse, you can just click on it and use your cursor keys to bring them down a little bit too as well. Okay, there we go. All right, I'm happy with that. Okay, now the last thing that we want to do before scaling this design is we want to change the color of our main headings. Now, you could leave it all black if you wanted to have it on a white t-shirt or a light colored t-shirt. But I'm actually designing this so that it's going to appear on a black t-shirt. Why? Because black t-shirts do tend to do a lot better in terms of sales globally. So I want to make sure that I set my designs for, the greatest amount of success possible. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the colors to give it more of a Thanksgiving feel. Now to do that, I like to go to my favorite go-to website for color palettes, and that's schemecolor.com. And what I did, I went ahead and I typed in Thanksgiving, and basically Scheme Color has presented me with a number of color palettes that I can basically consider. There are 2 pages of them here. So if I just click on number 2, we've got the last 3 over here. Clearly this one is not going to be working for us unless we want everything all one solid color, which is not something that I would really want to entertain right now. So let's go back to page 1. And now what we want to do is we want to go and I want to find some really bright Thanksgiving colors that I can use. Now, this one here, Thanksgiving Celebration, has some nice yellows. It's got this orange, but the red is a little bit too dark. This one over here, Thanksgiving Orange and Red, is nice, but I'm not really happy with the fact that I don't have a nice bright yellow. I think at the end of the day, I'm going to have to go with Thanksgiving Decorations. I don't know if you agree with me or not. If you do or you don't, comment down in the comment section down below. Which one of these would you have chosen for your text design? But let's go with Thanksgiving Decorations. So we're going to click on that, and momentarily, as you can see here, Scheme Color is going to come up and show me, obviously the colors a lot larger, and we've got the hex codes down here at the bottom. So this is the information that we want to copy and paste into Canva to change the colors accordingly. We can see that we've got 6 individual colors that I could effectively use each of these colors on each segment of this particular design. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. If you don't want to do that, you don't need to. You can just choose 3 of them and obviously alternate them. What you could also do is you could choose 3 colors for your headings and then maybe just 1 for the occupation. So you can mix and match. There's no real right or wrong way of going about it. Just choose the colors and see, basically how you feel when you're creating design, and go with that flow. More often than not, you're going to be more right than wrong, because at the end of the day, you are the content creator, you are the design creator. Go with what you feel that you enjoy, and see how it goes. Mix and match them if you want to. It's totally up to you. I think what I'm going to do is I am going to use the second, the third, and the fourth for my headings, and then I think I'm going to use the darker heading for the occupation. Okay, so let's start with the occupation. We're going to copy this one here, so we're just going to click on copy. We'll go back to the template and we're going to click on teacher. I'm going to click on the color, text color here. We'll click on this icon here, and then in this field here, this text field, I'm just going to paste the hex code for that red. So as you can see here, now it's appeared over there. So teacher has now changed to that lovely red color, and I don't need to do that for the other 2 because we already have that color in our palette, so in the document color. So I'll just click on this teacher here and then click on that red. We'll do the same thing over here, and it's easy as Thanksgiving pie. Now let's go back to Scheme Color, and we're going to copy this particular red. We'll go back to Thanksgiving template. Going to put it into the field here. Control V on the keyboard or Command V if you're on Canva. Okay, and there it is right there. We're going to click on Joyful, and I'm just going to choose that red. Now we'll go back to Scheme Color, we'll copy the yellow, go back to Canva, so we'll go into Thankful, and now we're going to choose that yellow, and then we'll go back to Scheme Color one last time. We're going to copy the orange, click on Privileged, go about, click on the text color, click on the font color, paste the hex code, and there we have it. Okay, so now we have the design nicely laid out on a white background, but if you want to see what it's going to look like on a black background, just grab one of the the words here, move it over to the side, gain access to the canvas, click on the background color, and then just choose black here. And as you can see, we can just move the word back into place. Okay, and against the black t-shirt, this is what it is going to look like. Now, again, this is the place and the time where you want to make any kind of modifications. And, in looking at it, I'm noticing that, joyful and teacher here, it's really, really close. There's a subtle difference, but for the layman's eye, it's going to look like it's the same. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to repeat the orange of privilege and change the color of joyful to the color of privilege. So we're just going to click on joyful. We'll click on the text color here, and there is the color for it. So we're just going to click on it. And now I think I'm a lot happier with the way that it looks, okay, given the fact that it's going to be on a black t-shirt. Now, before we scale this design, I don't want you to have black as the background color, okay? We need to make sure that we go onto the white. It'll make it a lot easier to remove the background once we scale it, okay? So let's just click on teacher. Again, this is just my preference. You might disagree, it's totally up to you, but I prefer to have it as a white background. I have the facility on Canva to be able to remove the background when I'm downloading it. If you are using the free version, once you've scaled it and downloaded, you can then take each individual design onto platforms like Remove BG. Just toggle the white and delete the white, and you'll have a transparent background. But I digress. I move ahead of myself here. We're going a little bit too far ahead of ourselves. Let's work on the scaling aspect. Okay, so let's head back to ChatGPT. And now what I did was, obviously I had asked it to provide me, the 30 different occupations in a text box. And it has done this very, very well. And the reason you wanted to have it in a text box, because Canva has a bulk create function. So what we want to do is we want to copy all of the text, including the heading. Okay, so we're going to right click and choose copy. Now, what you want to make sure that you do is you have either an Excel spreadsheet or a Google spreadsheet open. I have an Excel sheet open here. I'm just going to bring it into play here. And what we're going to do is we're going to paste it in the first column. Now, once you have this on a spreadsheet, you're going to copy it once again, and you're going to go back into Canva. And what we're going to do is we're going to go into apps. You might already have it. As you can see here, it's bulk create. If you don't see it there, just click on apps, and in the search field over here, type in bulk create, and you will obviously see it, and then you can just click on it. So what I'm going to do is going to click on bulk create, and I'm going to enter the data manually. So we're going to click on that. We've got this text box here. Let's clear the table. And then in the T row here, because you want to make sure you activate that row, we need to have the row headings. If you don't have the row headings in the right place, this isn't going to work properly for you. So we're just going to click and paste. And as you can see, we got text 1, text 2, text 3, and then we've got all of the headings down below. So once we've got that and we're all happy with that, we're just going to click on done. All right, and as you can see here now, we've got text 1, text 2, text 3 on the left-hand side there, but they are not toggled to the ones that we want to change. So what we're going to do is on the first one, we're going to right-click, and I want you to choose Connect Data. So we're going to connect the data, and this is going to be text 1. Then we're going to do the same thing, right-click, and we're going to choose Connect Data, text 2. And then the same thing with text 3. So we're going to connect data to text 3. Now you might say, well, Brian, they were all the same word. You could have just done it with text 1. Yes, you could have, but maybe you know somebody who works multiple jobs, or maybe you wanted to create, somebody who has a particular job with a particular hobby with, I don't know, something else that they do, and you want to create a text design based on those three aspects. So given the fact that you go through the process of, differentiating all three of them, it allows you more opportunities to change your tables to various hobbies, occupations, so that you will have everything nicely organized and you won't have any mix-ups. Again, don't worry the fact that the text has changed and it's a lot larger than what it is that we had keyed in. That's all going to be sorted out once we start the scaling process. Now that we have everything properly connected, all we need to do is just click on continue. As you can see here, the data has applied here, and we're going to have 30 different designs with joyful, thankful, privilege for each of the occupations listed down over here. And that's going to generate 28 pages for us. So we're just going to click on generate, and we'll allow Canva to do its thing, and it's going to start churning out all of the different designs. As you can see here, it's already done that. So if I just click on that, teacher has changed to doctor, engineer, artist, etc., etc. And that took basically what, 3 or 4 seconds at best to churn out all 28 designs. Okay, so now all I have to do is just click on share up over here. Okay, and what we're going to do is we're going to click on download, and because of the fact that I'm using the full version of Canva, I just toggle transparent background. We're going to download all 28 pages, and then all I have to do is just click on download, and then Canva is going to work its magic just behind me over here. I'm going to move myself out of the way so you can see the downloading process, and within a few moments I'm going to have this entire design scaled 28 times that I can upload to Redbubble, Spreadshirt, TeePublic, Zazzle, Society6, Merch by Amazon, whichever print-on-demand platform that you want to use in order to offer some really nice Thanksgiving text-based designs for your clientele. So as you can see here, it's really not that difficult to scale these type of text designs, and you know, the world is your oyster in terms of how many different occupations you could create designs for. If you don't want to use occupations, you could use family designations, you could choose hobbies. If you're uncertain as to what word to use, go ahead on ChatGPT or Google Bard or any of these other, you know, amazing AI platforms out there that can help you come up with respective words that you could replace into this particular design. And you know what, guys, the great thing about it is that you don't necessarily need to limit yourself just to Thanksgiving. You can actually do this for any and all holidays throughout the entire calendar year. You know, you got Christmas coming up around the corner too as well. You know, Halloween is close to as well. I don't know if this is the time, you know, during the time of publishing this video where Halloween is still a pertinent holiday to be working on. Your design should already be up given the fact that we are in the first week of October. But you know what? You could always create a bunch of designs, get the inspiration now, and save them for when Halloween comes again next year. You know, these holidays are there year in, year out. You can always come up with some amazing text-based designs, mix and match them to provide some great content for your clientele to actually chew on and to consider purchasing. So I certainly hope that you enjoyed this quick tutorial using ChatGPT and Canva. If you did, do me a favor, smash that like button. If you're new to this channel, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. You're more than welcome to join our community. I'd love to have you on board. Help me to reach 5,000 subscribers by the end of this calendar year. I know with your help that I can do it. But for today, that's all I've got. And as always, be safe, be well, be creative. Bye for now. Hey, thanks again for watching this video. I really appreciate each and every one of you taking the time to do so. If you are interested in taking your print-on-demand business to the next level and learning how to generate more sales, please consider clicking on one of the 2 video thumbnails that have appeared on your screen now. I'll see you there. Thanks again.